Thunderstorms, flooding, strong winds, and temperature changes. According to Governor Beshear, the death toll has risen to 23. The most recent was a man from Graves County who passed from floodwaters. Tornadoes have touched down in places that include Jeffersontown, Gage, Murray, Breckenridge, and more, with wind speeds up to 90 miles an hour. Rainfall is expected to continue until Sunday, with even more severe weather ahead. Areas in Kentucky are expecting major flooding. One Bowling Green resident got trapped under an underpass trying to get to work, saying that there was no lights to let him know what he was about to dive into.
I start driving down this way. You have no lights on this part at all, so you can't see anything, which is the reason why there's not only just me, but another whole person who also got stuck there. So if there were some lights there, you probably could have saw the water, but it's 6:20. It's not light yet. It's raining a lot. It's heavily obscured. So by the time I even realize, I'm already stuck.
New reports are showing Kentucky businesses could pay up to $4.1 billion in taxes from President Trump's tariffs. Trump says he is placing increased tariff rates to nations that run trade surpluses with the United States, while also implementing a 10% tax on imports from all countries. Frank's Meat and Produce, a local business in Louisville, Kentucky, says they don't expect to be affected, but economists say otherwise. If the order goes through, the 10% rate will be collected this upcoming Saturday, and the higher rates will be collected starting April 9th.
There has been a lot of confusion around House Bill 4 and what it means for college campuses. Reporter Ree Kirksey shows us the road work ahead for DEI.
Road signs help drivers better navigate the road and can also help everyone better understand Kentucky's House Bill 4.
This bill affects universities in Kentucky by no longer funding DEI programs and training. Now, what does this have to do with road signs?
The bill is like putting up a road sign that cuts back on how the road can be used. This bill limits universities in Kentucky from promoting diversity on its campus. This bill is like removing the speed limit, allowing drivers to drive as fast as they want without any rules. Think of the funding for DEI like detour signs. The bill is removing these signs, making it harder for students to find programs like the Intercultural Student Engagement Center at WKU. Governor Andy Beshear did veto this bill, just like stopping at a red light, but the Kentucky's General Assembly ran the red light and overruled his objection. WKU's President Timothy Caboni sent an email saying, as an institution that relies heavily on federal funding, we must ensure compliance with any new laws and regulations to protect resources that sustain our mission. Failure to do so could lead to significant reductions in our operating budget and limit our ability to provide essential financial aid, including Pell Grants. Because of this, we can expect any DEI offices and positions to be removed from WKU's campus June 30th. For News Channel 12, I'm Ree Kirksey.
Many universities are under investigation after not following the executive order to close DEI programs. And as we get closer to June 30th, we will know how much money they could lose if they don't comply.
The Humane Society is now in a code red for dogs and puppies. The kennels are too full to hold any more animals, causing them to become very overstimulated. If these pets are now adopted, they will be sent to other shelters where they will not receive the same care. If you or anyone you know is interested in adopting one of these furry little friends, they are $25, and the shelter is also looking for volunteers, so be sure to visit the Humane Society at 1924 Lowell Road. This is a great way to add a friendly face to your home or get in some last-minute service hours.
It has been storming nonstop since Wednesday. I mean, I slept the other night in my bathtub. I was so scared of those storms. But can you tell me what exactly we're looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are looking at more severe weather for this weekend, but it will move out in the coming week by Monday morning. Taking a look at our current weather conditions, we can see right now in Bowling Green, we're sitting about 80 degrees right now. We do have some clouds in the sky, and it does feel like 82. The dew point is around 68, and that is unfortunately making it feel really muggy and gross outside at the current time. Taking a look at our wind speeds, we are pretty calm across the entire region. Here in Bowling Green, we have ramped up a little bit to 12 miles per hour. And as we do head south, you can see that the wind does pick up to about 14 miles per hour in Nashville, 15 in Sparta, and up to 17 in Knoxville. Our temperatures across the region, we see here in Bowling Green, we are sitting at about 77. In Nashville, it is about 83. And if you do head up to Louisville, we would cool down to about 57. Looking at the current radar, we do see this line of storms moving away from us up into the north, giving us a temporary break from all of the rain, but they will come back in the later days. Weather headlines for today, we will have some more rain in the form of scattered showers tonight with the possibility of severe weather this weekend, but as that moves out of the way, we will eventually cool down. Back to you at the desk.
As rains continue to pour, hazards are arising throughout Kentucky. Reporter Maggie Dalrymple talks with some WKU meteorology students about the flooding and how to help.
The National Weather Service has a saying that they live by, which is turn around, don't drown. So if you see standing water on a roadway, then your best case scenario is always going to be to turn around and find a different route, because faster waters can be hiding. You can't always see if water is moving at a quick rate. So if you do drive through that, then you are risking your life and anyone else in the vehicle's life.
The main thing I would say for staying weather aware is having multiple ways to receive your alerts. So we have weather radios that are fairly common, and then obviously alert systems on your phone.
Immediately after, if people need help, be available to help.
Contact your emergency services. Make sure you have somewhere to go if the damage is to a point where you don't feel safe in the structure.
There's a lot of recovery, and it's a lot of mental toughness to get through it. Definitely don't be afraid to seek help. And it's not easy to lose the home that you've built, or friends or family that have been lost in the event. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. And always, if you even weren't affected, but your neighbor was, always be able to go out and reach out and help them out.
And honestly, I think that's why it's so essential to be careful while driving.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you drive?
I do drive, but I do not have a car.
I do not have a license, but I have skateboarded during severe flooding, and that is not the place you want to be. I can tell you that much. My shoes were so soaked after that.
That's a different way to swim. But have you ever experienced real flooding?
When I lived at Normal Hall, it's on that valley, and so all this water would like pool in the lawn there, and you would just look out and it was like a lake in front of Normal Hall.
Yeah, I completely understand. It's really hard, especially when you see flooding happening, and you just have to genuinely hope for the best, especially with people with cars. And going back to it, there's been a new light brought to campus.
We'll have how some students are prepping for graduation.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Two Lights for Tomorrow is a nationwide celebration in honor of Paul Revere's ride that took place 250 years ago. In honor of the historic event, the Kentucky Museum hosted a brief ceremony at the Felts House. Many local officials were in attendance. At the ceremony, a few remarks were made by the museum director, Brent Jorkman, and County Judge Executive Doug Gorman. Other local officials were also there to read a proclamation. Then the ceremonial two lights were ignited and guests were invited to mingle about and discuss the nation's rich history. The two candles are lighted to remind us all of the importance of coming together to form a more perfect union.
It's grad fair season. We are just a little over a month from WKU's graduation, and recently, grads were able to pick up their cap and gown. Reporter Hannah Hamelback got to talk to these grads about their feelings with their upcoming graduation.
Graduation is quickly approaching here on the Hill, and in just less than 2 months, seniors will be walking the stage here at Diddle Arena. We asked WKU seniors about their time on the Hill.
My favorite memory would be probably meeting all my friends in my speech cohort and going through every class with them and being.
My favorite memory at WKU was definitely becoming a Spirit Master. It was my favorite time. I got to run up the hill to Cherry Hall at midnight and be welcomed by this loving family. And then I got to spend the rest of my 3 years just interacting with WKU students and with the Bowling Green community, and that's by far been my favorite part of my college experience.
Definitely my teammates on the golf team.
My favorite memory is probably meeting new people, my lifelong friends.
What are your plans post-graduation? I hope to get a job in either PR or marketing or something in communications, and then I'm getting married in August.
I'm doing a few more years of school, and then I want to be a school counselor. I'm turning professional to play golf, and then I'd like to become a golf course architect.
I will be attending WKU's speech language pathology program for the next 2 years.
In one word, I would describe my time at WKU as impactful.
Fulfilling.
Transitional.
Thrilling. Definitely a blessing.
That's not always good news. HRL hosted their 10th annual WKU drag show just last night. The night was full of mocktails, dancing, and some sickening performances from some local queens. This free show helps local drag fans find their community as well as a well-needed distraction from the spring semester. One of the performers, Queen Venus Knight, talked more on the importance of this show.
And I realized, like, having an event like this, it brings so many more people together to let you know that you're not alone. You're not facing this world all by yourself.
Stay tuned for Nightfall. Brenna got to know Queen Venus a little bit better in the show.
That was such a fun experience. About 2 mocktails in, I thought I was one of the drag queens. I was having a great old time.
I'm so glad that it was great. Why do you think it? Well, I mean, honestly, I hope to have a better drag show next year.
Oh, I hope so. I hope we're on number 11. Matthew will be back after the break to give us an in-depth look on your weekend forecast.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Western Weather Watch. My name is Matthew Menig and I will be your forecaster for today. Taking a look at our temperatures across the region, we see that the state is split about right in half of warm and cold here. In Bowling Green, we're sitting at about 77 right now, though if we did head down to Nashville, it would be about 83. Up in Louisville, it is 57, and off to our east in Hazard and London, they are sitting at about 72 and 73. Wind speeds across the region, we are still looking pretty calm at the moment. Bowling Green right here, we're at about 12 miles per hour, though if we did head to the south again, it looks like the wind would pick up, as in Paris, Tennessee, it is about 14 miles an hour, 12 in Springfield, 14 in Nashville, and 15 in Sparta. Looking at our past rainfall over the last 48 hours, we see the time the storms moved in, lingered about, and just poured rain on us. In this yellow region right about here, they received upwards of 8 inches of rain. In Bowling Green, we only experienced about 5 or 6 though, so thankfully there is that, but there was still devastating flooding around the entire Kentucky region. Looking at the current radar, we see those storms move off to our north as they give us a temporary break from all that rainfall that we've experienced. And our friends in Evansville and Louisville have actually reached the end of their part of the rain. They will just get some light showers for the rest of today. Taking a look at the future radar, we could see those storms that have impacted us the last couple of days. And as we head later into Friday, they do move up to our north and out of the picture, but they unfortunately are not really calming down at all. You can see in the top left there is still some yellow, which means there is moderate rainfall. Here in Bowling Green, though, we are only experiencing, we will experience only some scattered showers Friday night. Though as we head overnight into Saturday, we can see that line of storms make their way back down into our region as they impact us about 11 a.m. That's when we will see some scattered showers. In Louisville, 11 a.m., that'll actually be where they get the brunt of the storm, and Paducah, that's where you will be getting the worst of it. As we head out of Saturday and into Sunday, we can see those storms moving out of our region, and that time overnight on Saturday and Sunday, that's when we'll have the worst chance for severe weather. But once we get to Sunday and into Monday morning, all those storms will clear up out of the sky and we will have some finally clear skies in our region. Looking at the SPC Day 2 outlook, this is for Saturday. We can see the large area of a slight risk encompassing most of Arkansas and Kentucky, and that's actually where we are here in Bowling Green, though there is some larger risks as we head down into Memphis and Arkansas. Looking at tomorrow, we can see that it will be very rainy the entire day. Unfortunately, it'll still be rainy, but we will be pretty warm. Looking at the 7-day forecast, we can see that rain over on the weekend as it moves out on Monday, where we cool down and start our next week. Back to you at the desk.
Alec Fouch and Kaylee Marksberry will be here to break down WKU baseball and how they fared against the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Bring it.
Oh, he's on fire.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
And that's Kaylee Marksberry.
WKU baseball has had an historic start to the 2025 season. The Tops are in the toughest part of their schedule yet and just faced off against Vanderbilt in Nashville. Alec, how did the Hilltoppers do in their first top 25 matchup of the season?
Well, Kaylee, it was a slow start to the game in Nashville against the Vandy boys. WKU coming off a great sweep against Sam Houston, gave up 1 run the whole series. They are looking to make some noise in the national conversation. So what better place to do it than in the SEC? And it started off slow. It was 4-1 by the 8th inning. But I'm Ryan Wyman. This guy takes over every single game, every single opportunity. I mean, he had an unreal robbery late in the 8th inning. Did you see that, Paige?
I did. I was very, very impressed. I thought that ball was leaving. Like, I thought it was flying out of there.
Yep, they did not end up taking the win. They lost 5-4 in overtime, but they have a series coming up against Dallas Baptist, and it'll be interesting to see how they fare against more top 25 competition.
Yep, absolutely. Moving along to high school sports, you know Greenwood, but do you know about Greenwood's lacrosse team? Well, Pia and I got the chance to meet the team and take an inside look at the Gators in mid-season form.
There you go. Pick it up.
Picking up success is hard.
Oh, nice block, Mason.
Blocking out the noise is even harder.
Look.
And looking at this team, you wouldn't know the obstacles they've overcome.
Last year we struggled a lot just learning this game. We had a lot of new players, we had a lot of young players, and I just told them to stick with it and keep working and keep working.
This is the work. Every sling, pass, catch, shot, and goal. But it starts with a coach who is committed.
So here's what I want to work on.
Well, to keep up with that confidence, we just have to build it, and where we do that is in practice. Especially every day, we learn something that we have to fix before a game, because whenever you're in game, you can't really make that mistake.
Clear!
And it is clear that they hold their standards high.
They're a very hard-working group that is still coming together, but they've been through some adversity together, and they've really learned how to keep coming to work, even though some days it's not as fun.
Good. Now!
And now, their chemistry is constantly evolving.
Being able to correct each other and being able to talk about things that go wrong or whatever, but always cheering one up, always talking to the guy if someone screws up, making sure it gets out of their head and you move on to the next play. Same thing as any other sport.
Good, Aiden?
Good, Aiden.
And I'm not using you as a bad example. I'm just saying, let's just make sure we don't panic that much, even if there's a guy on us.
The word team means more than just players on a field.
It's family and the world to me, because I believe that as a team, we can accomplish anything on this field.
I think it means somebody you can count on, somebody who you treat as a brother, and while you can argue and you can have your moments, you have respect for one another.
And when you're on this team,
figure it out. We're going to do this face-off deal.
You are more than just an athlete.
And I think that's what needs to be highlighted. It's not just about lacrosse. It's about building relationships, being good men. But it's what they do in the classroom, what they do when they're not here.
If this team sticks to their determination, they are on the right track to success.
I believe that this program is taking a big step forward, and I believe that we could probably be a top-tier team in the state of Kentucky and go even further.
For the Extra Point, I'm Kaylee Marksberry.
And how about that Greenwood lacrosse team, Kaylee? It's really, really interesting to see how they've come together to really enjoy and rally around a new sport.
Yeah, I had a really, really good time meeting them the other day. They just have such great passion when it comes to lacrosse, even though they're very new this season. And you wouldn't believe it, but some of those kids have only been playing lacrosse for 3 years, and now this season they're already on a winning record. So I'm very, very proud. Oh my goodness.
Is this how you play?
This is how, it is a lot more aggressive than I thought it was. A couple of those players are football players, Alec, would you believe? But you know, when we come back, Brenna and Pia will be back with you to give you an inside look at a reigning queen here in Bowling Green.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Welcome back, and unfortunately we do not have time to show that package, but it should be on our social medias, fingers crossed.
Exactly.
But it was such a fun experience.
I mean, what was it like being in front of the Venus McKnight?
So she is like Bowling Green's RuPaul. That is a quote by Patty Minter. That is not a quote by me. That is a quote by a learned professor. So she's obviously responsible here. But it was such a thrilling experience. She's so tall. And I'm not that short.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like for a girl, I'm about like a little above average. She was like towering over me, and I was so scared, but I was so excited. I was like, you are the most beautiful person I've ever seen, and I don't know what to do.
Honestly, I don't think there's a better person to go than you. With your creativity, the way you style, I think you literally deserve to be there, honestly.
I was so thrilled, and it was such a great experience to do this package.
I can't wait to see future updates and just follow up on her.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's so awesome.
Exactly. I'm very excited to see future drag shows and everything that we're holding.
And I know that they're doing a glow night at Donna's soon with the queens.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to News Channel 12 at 1.
Have a great night.